Well, hello and welcome. This is Jeff Hooks. I want to welcome all of you to our VNI partner training for this Saturday, June 6th. It's 11 a.m. Eastern. And I want to welcome you whether you're listening in live or listening to the replay in the upcoming days or weeks. We're excited that you're here. We've got a great event lined up for you this Saturday. It's if you're brand new, we have many of our top leaders and emerging leaders in the world of VNI that are always leading by example and plugged into this event. I want to welcome all of you. We've got some of our emerging leaders that have been engaged for a period of weeks or months. I want to welcome all of you. And then we've got some of our brand new partners. We actually have a couple of guests that are considering being partners. And I want to really roll out the red carpet on behalf of the entire team to all of you, because we get together every single Saturday for one reason, and that is for our authorized partners. We want to share best practices. We want to teach and train the fundamentals. We want to teach and train the key principles of what I always call the what, why, and how of building a successful VNI business. And for those of you that are brand new, maybe brand new partners or a couple of our guests, our mission is very simple. Our mission is to assist or help people in becoming beacons of health, hope, and abundance. Beacons of health, hope, and abundance. Now, how do we do that? We do that through the amazing VNI products with our exclusive proteasome absorption technology. We have multiple patents. We actually have 4 patents, 2 patents pending on our products. We have 48 peer-reviewed, published clinical studies on our finished products, with more underway. These are extraordinary products that deliver value in people's lives in terms of health and wellness and vitality and boosting the immune system. Best-in-class products that you can't find anywhere else. How else do we help people becoming beacons of health, hope, and abundance? Again, our lighthouse is part of our brand identity, being a beacon of light. Think about what a lighthouse does. A lighthouse shines the light usually through heavy fog or heavy storms, and lets the boats or the ships see where the safe harbor is, see where their desired objective is. And that's what VNI is. From a health and wellness perspective, we're a beacon of light, shining truth, shining the reality of good nutrition, unique products that deliver value, that nourish the body at a cellular level, nutrition that gets in. And we're a beacon of light also in terms of financial health and wellness. You know, never before, I don't think in my adult, I'm getting ready to turn 55 actually next week. I don't think there's ever been a time, certainly in my life, where more men and women are looking for opportunity. They're looking for opportunities to take control, take responsibility for their own physical health and wellness because of all that we're going through and are hopefully coming out of. The idea of nourishing the body, boosting the immune system. Nothing is, and this is, in my opinion, nothing's more powerful than boosting the immune system, giving the body the raw materials and the resources that it needs to protect itself through the immune system. And never before has there been a time, at least in my life, where men and women have both a need and desire for an additional income, building a cash flow part-time from home or from their office or home. Creating a side gig income where you're in complete control without jeopardizing your full-time job. Many of our new partners are building this with a vision over the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years of creating a massive full-time business and everything in between for different reasons. Paying off debt, children's education, supplementing retirement. Building a savings account and an investment account. So we're at a point in time where I think it's really important for every one of us, and I'm looking at all the wonderful partners on the call: Annette, Chris, Cynthia Rose, Diane, Donna, Ed and Gina, Evelyn, Jeffrey, Kent, Michael, Ron, and on and on. I don't want to leave anybody out, but we're at a point in time where I think it's important to kind of take a deep breath and, kind of the idea of carpe diem, seize the day, recognize that we're in a very unique moment in time where so many people that you and I know and that we meet and that we come across have a sincere desire for some positive change. Again, positive change in terms of personal, physical health and wellness that our amazing products will help with, including the brand new Perform Light, which we probably will talk about a little bit more later, maybe a little bit. And also, financially, having the opportunity to create an additional cash flow that you control, a residual cash flow that keeps coming in, and taking the next couple years, next 2-3 years, depending on what your vision is, what your goals are, to create some options for yourself, and your family. That's exciting. It's a wonderful opportunity. And so today's training is all about equipping you and your teams with the information and the fundamentals and some of the best practices. We never share theory on this Saturday training. It's never, unproven, untested ideas. It's always proven principles, fundamentals that we know from experience work. If they work for one member of the team, they're going to work for another member of the team, the principles that we teach. And so I want to encourage you to always remember 2 key fundamentals. And we mention this almost every single Saturday, if not every Saturday. And that is, number 1, remember, as you engage in this journey with VNI, remember to always stay plugged in, just like you're doing today. Stay plugged into the events. Stay plugged in to the training. Stay plugged into your upline. Stay plugged into the VNI Life app in your back office. Don't isolate. Don't be the Lone Ranger. Lone Rangers don't win in this model with VNI. It's a team sport, and that's the beautiful thing about it. You've got your own giftings and skills and abilities, and you've got your own vision. You've got your own expertise. And when you bring that to the VNI community and you leverage the resources and the tools and the capabilities of the team, the sky's the limit. You still have to take responsibility for your own business, but when you plug in, you're getting filled up. Think about these, the smartphones that most of us have within arm's length pretty much 24/7 now for the most part. What happens if you don't charge it? And obviously the answer is the battery dies and you've got no power. You've got nothing's happening. It's no longer a tool that adds value in your life. And your VNI business is the same way. If you treat it like a business, it'll respond like a business. If you treat it like a hobby, it'll respond like a hobby. And most hobbies are certainly not something that you can depend on for yourself and your family's financial well-being. So you want to stay plugged in. You want to plug in consistently to get filled up, to learn and grow, so that you can stay inspired. So that you can. One of my mentors in business used to say, "Hey Jeff, plug in, stay plugged in, so that you get filled up. And when you're filled up, you can go out and spill all over everybody." That was the visual he used to always use, and I love that. He said, "Hey, you can't if you're not filled up, you can't share. You've got nothing to share. But you want to stay plugged in so you're always filled up. And when you're filled up, you can go spill on people in a good way." That's just a different way of talking about sharing and caring. So number 1, stay plugged in, just like you're doing today. Just like you're doing today. That's what you want to make sure you don't. Jim Rohn, as I always said, and I share it consistently, the things that are easy to do are also easy not to do. So remember how important it is to stay plugged in, just like you're doing today. The second tip, the second kind of foundational tip that we want to share is the importance of doing something positive every day to build and grow your VNI business, particularly in the sharing and caring areas of activity, which we're going to be talking about today. Do something positive every day to grow your business. That consistency is what creates momentum. And momentum is sustained through consistency. It's the compounding effect, doing the basics, doing them often, doing them well, rinse and repeat. Okay, if you'll remember those two key principles, stay plugged in, do something positive every day, a little bit every day, rinse and repeat over a sustained period of time is the key to the vault with your VNI business, no matter what your goals are. And so, y'all, I'm so excited to pass the reins to our next speaker that doesn't need an introduction, Ken Nazemetz, Executive Director Leader from the Huntersville area, just outside Charlotte, North Carolina. All of you know him. He's built an amazing business. He's been leading events and leading teaching and training now for a year and a half with VNI. He's built a tremendous business on a part-time basis. And a little birdie told me he's got some great things happening that are going to really explode his business in the upcoming months. And so without any further hesitation, I'm going to turn the reins of today's partner training to Executive Director Ken Nazemetz. Ken, take it away.
Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate the nice introduction. And, you know, you hit it right on the head in the fundamentals, the blocking and tackling in, you know, our VNI business is simple. It's use the products, it's share the products, and it's to teach others how to do the same thing, right? What I want to talk about a little bit today is a piece of that puzzle. The overriding concept never changes. Use, share, and teach others how to do the same thing. But I think some folks have an anxiety of, okay, I got someone to talk to me. Now what do I do? And so what I wanted to concentrate our little training on today, and I've made it short because I want to make sure that everyone stays engaged, stays focused, and gets something out of it. I think that if we shut her on for, you know, an hour at a time, many times your real message gets lost in the translation. So let me share my screen with you. And I want to, there we go. I want to talk about that first meeting. I want to talk about when maybe you made the phone call to a friend or to a family member, a business colleague, and you said, hey, I've got something I really want to chat with you about. It's become a pretty important part of my life, and I think it might be something that's interesting to you. Now remember, you don't just call a meeting with someone you haven't spoken with in 25 years. That's not going to do it, because if you move right into trying to talk about Victory Nutrition and all the wonderful products inside it, it becomes a sale. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about having a relationship with this person that you're speaking with, and you end up at this first meeting, specifically to have a bit of a conversation about Victory Nutrition. Now, when you walk in, and maybe it's a Starbucks, maybe it's a Panera Bread, maybe it's at your house or at their house, maybe they're hosting an event with you. We all can think on our feet, but that's not what I want you to necessarily hang your hat on. I think that it's important that you don't just recite the information about Victory Nutrition. I think you have to do a little bit of your homework and truly understand some of the information that you want to talk about. We have over 40, I think we have 48 peer-reviewed scientific studies, and more to come. They come down the pipe every couple of months on all of our wonderful products at Victory Nutrition. I love just taking one little piece of the puzzle and having something to talk about. Now, if someone wants to try to take you down the rabbit hole and that's not something that you're comfortable with, it's very simple. www.vniscience.com. You can actually rest your foundation and say, you know what, I don't have that answer, but let me refer you to our website that has all of the science behind all of the products that we bring with Victory Nutrition, and I'll go find that answer for you as, you know, the next time we meet. I think it's important that when you start thinking about your talk, that you really focus on not only what's important to you, because that's going to come through with passion and with excitement and energy, but you also want to focus a little bit about what's important to them. You know, you don't know what's important to them unless you've done a little bit of background understanding. You know, one of my favorite sayings to all of my team members, both in the Victory Nutrition business and my other businesses, is failure to plan is planning to fail. You can't get much simpler than that. Know a little bit about the person and maybe their family life. Maybe know a little bit about their story. How do you know them? What context do you know them? And maybe share some insights that might be relevant to them. For example, if they have kids, what might be a relevant example in our current health mindedness that might be important to them? Well, you might say, well, I don't know if you know this, but more than half of all children in the USA today are eating poor diets. That to me is a shock. You say, well, wait a second. As a parent, I'm trying to do everything that I can to make sure that my kids get a healthy diet. Many times it's not your fault, and you take them off the hook. It's not your fault because, and we'll talk a little bit about this, because of poor farming strategies, because of pesticides, because what's on their plate today is not the same thing that was on your plate 30 years ago. Now, I want everyone to look at this mem-gem. Every time you see this mem-gem in our quick presentation today, that's something that I might say or use in context with some of my conversations with both consumers and partners. And let's be clear, everybody is a consumer of the wonderful products at Victory Nutrition, people that are taking the products. Some of them might be partners, but even the partners are consumers. So I've really focused this little training on the consumer themselves. We can have an additional training on actually how to start bringing partners on. But this is really about getting someone engaged, interested, and a little more information about the Victory Nutrition family and the products that we have. So every time you see that mem-gem, you might see some words and quotes. You might see some conversational sentences. That might be something you want to take your pen and pad and maybe either jot some notes down or maybe write your own version of it, or again, write exactly what's on the page, because it's working for me, it's working for many others. I like to say, own the conversation. What does that mean? And you see TTC up there. I never sell. I use what's called a challenger sales methodology of teach, tailor, and control. I always teach, I never sell. I want to educate everybody to the science of good health and to the products at Victory Nutrition. I want to tailor my message based on what I know is important to them. Is it a crazy busy lawyer who's working 60, 70 hours a week and is just mentally drained, doesn't sleep well, has a hard time focusing? And by the way, I'm using that because that's someone that I actually have spoken to, right? Well, I'm going to tailor my conversation to talk about brain reward. Maybe it's the athlete who's hit their plateau and they're saying, you know what, just nutritionally, I'm not getting exactly what I need. Interestingly enough, I have a product for that. Protovite, in fact, before the current healthcare crisis that we had going on right now, we were in the midst of starting a clinical study with athletes to show that Protovite, in fact, has the ability to help athletes increase strength, endurance, speed, a whole litany of things. I'm going to tailor my conversation based on what that person may be looking for. So I always like to say, provoke and challenge the status quo. I was never okay with the quality of food and nutrition choices that are available to me and my family. I just wasn't. Are you? That's a great question to ask because it provokes a little thought. It provokes the challenge to, hey, just accept what's given to you. I like provoking and challenging the status quo. I also like to create what I call constructive tension. Food sources no longer carry the same vitamin mineral content that they did when you and I were growing up. Again, because of poor farming strategies, pesticides, artificial growing strategies. And then ask the question, what are you currently doing about it to protect and enhance you and your family's health? Do you hear that silence? Don't interrupt it. Get a response. Ask them what they're doing and wait for a response. Sometimes people get too anxious when there's that pause. Don't be too anxious. Enjoy it. Okay, that's going to create some constructive tension to help the person you're speaking to provoke a little bit of thought in what they're going to say back. And then I always differentiate myself and Victory Nutrition from the rest of the people that they're going to speak with today. Victory Nutrition is a science-based company. I like to say the science of good health. It provides a complete nutritional, metabolic, and nutrigenomic solution for your family and mine. No other company offers so much with so much science behind it. That is absolutely differentiating from any other company out there. So again, look at the MemGem. You can see that there's some quotes in there. These are things or phrases or conversations that you may want to include when you start the conversation with your prospects, your colleagues, your friends at Victor Nutrition. I always say prepare for the meeting. Inspire with an idea that either changes the way they think about the world around them, like we just did, right? What type, I was never okay with my nutritional choices, okay? Or persuade them to action. You have to ask for the action. You can talk about how bad something is, but if you don't offer a solution or a change, it doesn't really go anywhere. I always say I like to make my ideas viral by encapsulating them in an unforgettable catchphrase, somewhere between 3 and 12 words. Craft your phrase to be action-oriented. Right? Ask for a response out of it, and always repeat it at least 3 times during your conversation or presentation. The reason is you want it to stick. You want it to be memorable. When they walk away 12 hours, 2 days, 5 days from now, when they remember that conversation, they're going to remember your viral catchphrase. Let me give you some examples. And look, there it is again. There's a MemGem. We all know these. And if you don't know them, you should think about learning them. Victor Nutrition is nutrition that gets in. How wonderful. What does that mean? That means we're talking about our absorption technology. We're talking about the protozoan absorbing technology that's patented. It's different from everything else there on the market. Protovite restores hemoglobin in red blood cells. That is a watershed moment when you talk about, what does that mean? Red blood cells are now able to carry more water, more oxygen, more nutrients around the body. Protovite restores hemoglobin in red blood cells. We are creating health from the cellular level. These are great catchphrases. I hope you all have them already. And then finally, Victor Nutrition is the science of good health. I love this because it makes you different than everyone out there. Everyone likes to have, well, our stuff tastes great, or we have this. We are a science-based company that not only tastes great, but we're backed by the science of good health. 48 peer-reviewed studies that you can look back to, that you can send out through your Victor Nutrition Life app that enables you to share all of this knowledge. You don't have to have it all in your head all at the same time, but now you know where to find it and send it out. Victor Nutrition is the science of good health. When you prepare for your meeting, I believe in telling stories. If you think about, who were the greatest leaders of all time? They told stories. Right? Jesus taught in parables. Martin Luther King taught in stories. Gandhi taught in stories. Storytelling is simple. It's not something that's hard. Everyone knows how to do it. It's timeless. It transcends generations. Stories are easy to remember. Once you have that story, you can always tell it over and over again. It's not something you have to memorize because stories are inside you. And stories inspire. They give the opportunity to relate the characters and situations of the story to your own life. And I think what's most important, and it comes from an early development level from all of us, stories put the listener in a mental learning mode. Who's ever heard the catchphrase, once upon a time? Every kid has. And you know what? As adults, we've all grown up with once upon a time means here comes a story. So we put ourselves in a listening and learning mode when we start listening and learning and when we start hearing about stories. Real important. Here we got another MemGem. Prepare for your meeting. Your introduction can be a powerful story. It can be a powerful question, or it might be a shocking statement. This becomes a great way to open up a conversation. So let's talk about Trisha McKay. She shared that I was tired and sick all the time. I had no energy. I watched my kids, from the sidelines, yet I pushed them to be in sports and be active. What kind of mother was I that I didn't walk the walk, so to speak? I was 200 pounds and I didn't like where I had led myself. It hit me. And at that point, I knew I had to find myself on a healthier road. That instant I said out loud, I believe in me. That's a powerful story. what a wonderful segue to talk about how Victory Nutrition is creating life-changing events for people all over the country. Your introduction would be about a powerful question. In your busy lifestyle, do you make sure that your family eats balanced meals daily and with proper nutrition for you and your kids? It's a powerful question, because I know that, you know, before I was actively involved in Victory Nutrition, I sought to find the best nutrition for my family, but I wasn't always very good at it. I sought to put healthy meals on the table, you know, but when you read the back of the ingredients, sometimes it's not as healthy as you thought it was. So asking that powerful question, again, begins to make people start thinking about things. Your introduction can also be a shocking statement. Did you know 9 out of 10 Americans don't get enough vitamins and minerals? I didn't, right? And you know what? 75% of Americans are using supplements, but 9 out of 10 aren't getting what they need. What does that tell you? It tells you that the most expensive vitamin you can ever buy is the one that doesn't work. I love when Bill Downs talks about that. So these are great ways to prepare for your meeting, to make sure that in your introduction, you've got a powerful story, a question, or a statement. Now, when you're preparing for your meeting, I always like to say that you should deliver a post-opening remark that creates an exciting expectation, sort of the benefits that could come about from the meeting, right? When health-minded consumers begin using Protovite, many feel a real change in the first 30 days. Wow, I can look forward to that. I take this Protovite for 30 days, and there's something that I can feel on the inside. One I love to ask is, take the 90-day challenge. You know, when you take Brain Reward, you don't feel it the first day. You don't feel it the second day. You may not feel it the first week. Brain Reward is something that needs to get in your system and get your body moving in the right direction to create that normalcy in the serotonin and dopamine kind of sensitivity levels, right? So people love hearing about taking the challenge of this. Take the 90-day challenge with Brain Reward. Let's see how much better you can feel. Let's see how much stress we can take out of your life. Let's look at that mental sharpness and how can we sharpen that blade. Oh, we got another mem gem. A great opening statement addresses problems many people face today. Think about this statement and why we're saying it. I'm going to say it to you first, then I'm going to tell you why. If you're like most health-minded individuals that want to talk to me on a daily basis, your concerns have grown to include maybe a lack of physical and cognitive energy in your daily life, a decline or loss of healthy body systems like youthful blood flow, or maybe lean muscle mass, maybe even some mental sharpness, or maybe you're just worried about a couple of extra pounds around the waistline. Sometimes it's just a lack of quality nutrition options in an unmanageable sea of processed foods that we're all faced with today. Have I missed anything? Right here, you've addressed the majority of the reason why people will consider alternative nutrition needs. For more energy, better health, lean muscle mass, maybe drop a few pounds. What you're saying to them is, I understand. I know what you're going through. Okay? We get it together. So this is a great way to start with an opening statement like that. Once you've given that opening statement, you have to connect what you believe to what they believe, because people don't just do business with people who have good products. People do business with people who believe the same things they believe. If you believe that life out there is there still ready to grab with both hands, and you believe in working towards a healthier you, but you need some support to create a better lifestyle and a better you to take into the next 10 years. Nutritional supplementation provided by Victory Nutrition is probably something you should consider. Victory Nutrition believes in delivering health, hope, and abundance through the science of good health and quality nutritional, metabolic, and nutrigenomic solutions for the informed, health-minded individual. Backed by over 48 public studies, Victory Nutrition leads with its science, the science of good health. And is good health important to you? You know, I can and I will help you from the outside in, but I need your help to work on the inside out. That's where good health and proper supplementation starts. Let's look at Protovite. What you're doing is you're connecting your belief with their beliefs. And you're connecting the beliefs that are inside Victory Nutrition, what they want to believe in. Now, what did we learn today? One, you got to do your homework before the meeting. You can't just go in and wing it. It's important that you know a little bit about the people that you're speaking with, know how to teach, tailor, and control the conversation. Never sell. I always say that you can't sell this, especially to family and friends. What you can do is you can educate them to the science of good health. Storytelling is very powerful. You should take the stories that you hear from your friends and customers and partners in the Victory Nutrition family and help spread them, because they are really the good news that's coming out of all the benefits from the products of Victory Nutrition. And finally, have a strong opening and belief statement. Internalize them. Don't just read them off your eyes. Don't just have a piece of paper behind your eyelids and read them. Internalize them. Believe in them. When you have a strong opening and belief statement, it's going to be impactful. It's going to be engaging. So, unfortunately, no one likes homework, but I'm going to give you a little bit. I want everyone on the call today to write your own opening statement, or use mine if you want. That's okay. But have a strong opening statement and start picking apart every single word in your opening statement to make sure you believe in it, to make sure it engages what you believe in Victory Nutrition and what you want to say to someone about Victory Nutrition. And finally, write down a compelling story from your health or from some other VNI experiences that you may have with partners or colleagues, and then learn how to tell that story. With that opening and belief statement and some compelling stories, you are well on your way to creating another engagement with Victory Nutrition International. Thanks. Jeff?
Awesome, Ken. Thank you. I was just actually writing my last note. So bravo. Well done. I've gotten some wonderful feedback. I mean, I want to share for a second here. So Will sent us in the chat bar as an example, said this training itself is a gem. Cynthia Sauer, wow, Ken is over delivering, so impressed and blessed today. So there's just lots of good feedback coming on. And so I want to, before we get to our last little piece that we're going to share, I want to ask you, Ken, so well, let me make this point to everyone, for all of us. Your sharing activity, let's always kind of bring it down to what Ken was helping with today, was being more effective when you share VNI, when you share the products, when you share the business. At the end of the day, it's the sharing frequency. How many new people, new eyeballs, new brains are looking and learning about the VNI products and learning about the business. So it's that sharing activity. But Ken, what I love about what you've trained us on today is, if you're going to invest the time to engage in the VNI mission, which everybody is that's plugged in, if you're going to invest the time, why not sharpen your skills? Just like, why not, each time you share, the more you share, the better you're going to get. Hopefully, if we're paying attention and we're saying, okay, what worked, what didn't work, and you gave such specific, concrete, real life examples from the tremendous business that you've built with VNI, that y'all, if you just incorporate one or two of Ken's ideas, let's just say one, and then go back. You're going to have the replay. This is going to be posted Monday on your VNI Life app, and you can go back through it and pause it and take notes and do a screenshot of some of the specific phrases and questions, and then maybe the next week incorporate a second idea. And this has just been amazing. But Ken, one of the things that I love about your leadership is you lead by example. So you're not only doing what you teach, but you're doing it consistently. And I know the answer to this question, and I think everybody else probably does too, but has there ever been a month since you engaged part-time with VNI where you didn't break the zero more than once?
There hasn't. It's been very important to me that if I'm going to do something, like you said, I'm going to approach it as a business, not a hobby, because I want it to, from the business side, I want it to pay me like a business, not like a hobby. So it's important that I use the discipline that I have in my daily work world, that I apply the same thing to my Victor Nutrition family, my Victor Nutrition work world, where it's not okay for me if I am on sort of a 5-year goal mission to let a day slip by when I haven't taken a step forward with my Victor Nutrition business.
Yeah, good stuff. Now, I want to start my screen share, and Ken and I are going to cover a few minutes on something that hopefully all of you already know about. And that is, let me play from current slide, our Summer Sizzle, our brand new builder packs. So, Ken, I'm going to toss you the ball to kind of get with some opening comments, but this went live Thursday night. It went live night before last at our partner overview event. It's on your website. It's all the details are there. The tools are on the VNI Life app. Everything's in place. But y'all, what we did to boost, one of the things we're doing so good as a company, and I've talked about this before, in adding customers. We're adding customers, every day. In many cases, we're adding multiple customers an hour, and we're doing great. The area that I want us all to focus on, if it's your goal, but is we need more partners. We need more men and women engaging in the mission and teaching the world about these amazing products. And so we need more brand ambassadors. And so to make it easier for you to have some sizzle to your story, we've beefed up the value in these builder packs with this summer sizzle. So just conceptually, Ken, what are your initial thoughts? You and I talked, I know this, but for everyone else, you had input into what we put together, but what are your thoughts based on the new builder packs?
So I love them, Jeff. And, one of the things that I've said consistently on our opportunity calls on Thursday is whatever pack you choose, based on your budget or based on your level of engagement, it's so important that you remember the 3 fundamentals of use the products, share the products, and teach others to do the same. If I don't have enough to share, then I can't adequately deliver on those 3 pieces of the puzzle. So I love these builder packs, and now that we're adding some additional product lines which haven't been in them before, and I don't want to steal the thunder. I don't know if you want me to talk about that or not.
Yeah. Let's do. There's the basic.
There you go. So with this basic pack, what a wonderful opportunity. Again, this has all that you are encompassing in your Protovite, your Brain Reward, your N-Sorb, and our newest product, which is Perform Light. This is a great basic pack to start with. One of the things that I always say to everybody is make sure you focus on something that you want to share with. Now, in the basic pack, because your N-Sorb comes in its little packets, that might be the first thing you start sharing. Okay, this is the metabolic benefits that you can bring to someone with Victor Nutrition. Don't forget, all of these products come with single servings of Perform Light. There's like 5 of them. And then I think there are some Brain Reward single servings as well, right, Jeff?
Yeah, can you see the screen on the lower right? Yep.
Absolutely.
Plus
This is not a massive share opportunity, but it's the opportunity for you to engage 1 or 2 or 3 people into the Victor Nutrition line. So again, your basic pack not only gives you all that you need, but it helps put you in a position to start your share program. Now, when you work into the promoter pack, Jeff, this is where, to me, it starts getting exciting. You're not only getting everything that you need, the Protovite, the 30-serving Protovite in the big bottle, your Brain Reward, your N-Sorb, but you're also now getting Perform Light in 2 sample packs, and each one of those sample packs has 15 servings. They're great for just traveling when I'm going to the gym or things like that, but they're also great for me to keep an extra few in my gym bag and say, hey, give this a shot, make it for them and let them try it, because now it gives me great opportunities to continue to share. Now you've got your Protovite in the Moments package. You know this is one of my favorite, Jeff, because I take these with me on planes, trains, and automobiles. Right? I put them actually in a little hard case container with a little bit of an ice pack, and it becomes a wonderful opportunity. I've shared them with Uber drivers. I've shared them with stewardesses. I've shared them with just people at the hotel as I'm checking in. What a great opportunity for me to share the science of good health with something like our Protovite Moments. And now that our Perform Light comes in our little stick packs, I can do the same thing with my Perform Light. When I go to the gym at the hotels, when I go to the gym at home, I can keep a couple extra sticks right in my gym bag, and I can share them. This promoter pack is a great opportunity for us to be able to get the sharing out a bit more widespread than our first basic pack.
Great points, Ken. If you go back to the basic pack, for example, and you compare them to our old packs, the value that we've increased, $139 in savings, which is a savings of 34%. The promoter pack, the savings goes up to $225. And you see, I love what Rachel Whitehouse, Ken, you and I talked about this, our new director of marketing. She's broken out where you see, these are the if you see where my cursor is, these are the core products that are part of the promoter pack. And then you've got separated very simply. You can see all the quote unquote free stuff that you've got that translates into the $225 savings and the 35% value. So I share this with all of us because this now, the tools that marketing is creating makes it simple for you to explain to a prospective new partner exactly what's in each of these packs. And then there's the share and grow, Ken.
So this share and grow pack, and as you know, Jeff, as I have really helped my team grow, my goal is for everyone to become revenue neutral or revenue positive within the first 100 days. Okay, that cannot happen unless you have enough to share. So important. Use the product, share the product, and then teach others how to do the same. When you look at this share and grow pack, you're getting plenty of Protovite, Brain Reward, and N-Sorb for yourself. You're getting plenty of Perform Light. But now you've got a lot of stuff to share. Now you're able to go out into your community and really have some deep conversations with Perform Light, with Protovite Moments, with your N-Sorb. You're able to get this out in the community. And one thing I want to say is, and let's not discount it. The VNI T-shirt and the VNI gift bags, so important, because the T-shirt shows, hey, I'm proud of this. And you're going to get a lot of people say, what's that lighthouse all about? It's happened to me. That creates an instant conversation for me to be able to talk a little bit about Victor Nutrition. The gift bags enable me to put a couple of samples in, maybe 2 different products. I can put a note, my business card, and maybe one of the brochures in there. That also enables me to, instead of just handing it to somebody and say, hey, think about this, I've now put together a complete packet for them so that once they take it, they've got that gift bag. It becomes something that's on maybe their kitchen table for a day as they go through it, and then I can follow up. Remember, I gave you that gift bag. Have you tried all the samples, et cetera, et cetera. It's not like you're just handing it to somebody. They're actually getting a gift bag full of stuff with the information as well.
Great point. And listen, y'all, think about this. The total cost for a new partner of our Share and Grow pack has gone down, and the savings went way up. You got $422 of savings of 42%, and you've got the Perform Light. And I'll tell you, from our experience, it's going to be interesting. We want to share all the products, but the tip of the spear, it's going to be interesting over the next few months. Ken, you and I've talked about it, how the Perform Light is such an easy product to share. It's such a good. So we're going to see, a lot of times that's going to be tip of the spear when you're sharing in person. And then you segue to the other products as you go. And I think I know from what you're already doing, Ken, between the Perform Light and the Moments, which you've had so much success with, you're locked and loaded now.
Jeff, this Perform Light it's a game changer for me. The first week I had a package in my hand, I had 6 people drinking Perform Light at my gym. I had 6 the first week. It is so easy to share. It tastes good, and they're going to feel something. What a wonderful, I'm so glad this got put into our Summer Sizzle promotion. This is going to be a game changer for a lot of us. Make sure that you order extra though, because You're going to go through it. I drink a few of them a day. So
Absolutely. I mean, two to three a day for me is what I'm doing. And so, so y'all, the summer sizzlies you see there, limited time only. So it's literally, through the end of July. Take advantage of this. The company's making a big investment to help you attract and launch new partners. And so let's have fun with it. And so I'm going to stop the screen share, Ken, and I want to publicly thank you as always for your leadership, and I'm going to ask you to bring us home today.
So this is always fun for me, Jeff. I'm so blessed and excited to be part of the VNI family. What Bill and Kim Downs and you and the rest of the team are bringing forward to all of us is a wonderful nutritional platform offering, again, all of the nutritional, metabolic, and nutrigenomic solutions for our hectic lifestyles, bringing Perform Light, now our newest product for hydration. But you're also bringing us a path forward in business, something that can create, whether it's just enough money to, again, pay for your own supplements, or maybe a car payment or a house payment, or as we've talked about, with a little hard work over the next 2 or 3 years, maybe it's an income that replaces everything else. So I love doing these trainings, and hopefully if everyone goes back, they get a little something out of it that makes it all worthwhile for me. I want to make sure that everyone doesn't forget that our product training is Tuesday night in this same Zoom room at 8 o'clock. And then we also have our opportunity call on Thursday. Real important. The product call on Tuesday and the opportunity call on Thursday enable us to break out the training in shorter segments and really focus on little pieces of the puzzle rather than getting the whole thing together. So products on Tuesday, opportunity on Thursday. I look forward to seeing each and every one of you there. Have a great day.